Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Here is your tarot reading for the week ahead. I do these Tarotscopes weekly with a view to really help you navigate the week, what energies are at play, things to look out for, things to enjoy. To ensure that you never miss these Tarotscopes, again, you can sign up to email notifications. To do that, you can just check the pinned comment below, which will also give you instruction on how to discover your rising sign and moon sign, so you can check those videos out too for a complete view and look at your week ahead. In this week, Taurus, we are entering into Venus in retrograde. And for all the star signs, it's playing out in a very, very different way. For you, it looks like you're going to have a ball. Which is kind of slightly ironic because Venus in retrograde normally creates kind of issues within our relationships. Lots of exes can resurface. That may be happening for you, Taurus, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. But relationships can start to feel a bit clunky. Things that we thought were dead and buried resurface. Just this sense of annoyance that can arise and losing sight of what we really hold as value. But these things don't really apply to you this week, but rather it's almost like you're gonna just the words that coming into mind is like the cat's I don't even know what this means, but the cat's being let out to play. I don't think that's actually a saying, but that's while the cat's away, the mice might play. That's probably more accurate. So while others may be having a bit of a crisis of confidence, unsure of what's going on, you just look like you're gonna. It's quite an unfettered energy here. It's like the yoke on the cosmic ball has been taken off and you're no longer feeling as though you have to pull the plow, but rather you can just really enjoy yourself, be spontaneous, be fun, be silly. And I would really, really encourage that for you. The reason that I say that these big Venus energies are at play is that we have the Justice card and the Empress card. In the Empress card, we've literally got the sign of Venus, and Justice is the sign of Libra, which, just like you, is also ruled by Venus. So there's certainly a big-hearted energy here. I want you to be generous of heart. I'm literally being shown an enlarged heart, particularly as other people may be not enjoying the pull of Venus in retrograde quite as much as you are. It's important that you are being a little bit more generous of spirit, generous of heart, uplifting, check in with people, spread joy, spread fun, spread love. Maybe you want to do some spontaneous things for other people, and they could be loved ones, they could be colleagues, they could be random people on the street. But this feeling and this need for generosity is very, very given, particularly with the Justice card. The Justice card's an interesting one because you would assume that the Justice is very rigid and very cerebral, and this is the truth and this is the matter. But because it's the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, there's much more of awareness of society as a whole, and also being very heart-led. The fact that her robes are this bright scarlet red indicates that it's full of passion, full of emotion that wants to be shared. The Justice card also represents the Lord of the Universe and the karmic laws, and therefore please, please, please watch what are your intentions this week. Am I doing things for the right intentions? Now, we like to always assume, of course I am. I would never do anything that wasn't with the right intentions. But start to just bring an awareness to, am I being slightly selfish? Is this more about what I want? It's really key here that we start considering other people. Really great for relationships, particularly as we have this Empress with this great heart. Lots of divine feminine energy here too. Things about receptivity, intuition, creativity, all of those wonderful, wonderful energies coming through and abound. We've also got the Judgment card. So the fact that we've got 3 major arcana in sequence here indicates it's going to be quite a large energies at play for you this week. As I say this, there's almost a bit of a laser beam coming onto Taurus this week, but in a good way. This sense of expansiveness and growth, I feel, is going to be very palpable for you here. Things going quite well. Suddenly the lid feeling as though it's been taken off quite a lot of things that have been holding you back up until this point, or have felt a little bit restrictive. Again, why I said at the beginning, it's going to feel like that yoke of responsibility, or that yoke of things that have perhaps been dragging you down a little bit up until this point. It's just going to be taken off. And within that, a sense of relief. And therefore, you may find that you want to go, do you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not carrying that as a responsibility. I'm not doing what is outside of my remit anymore. I've done that for long enough. Now is a time more about freedom, play, excitement. It's not about the drudgery. The drudgery. Let me know in the comments below what word that's meant to be. That's a play. And in part, I say this because of the Judgment card. The Judgment card, again, can sometimes look a bit terrifying, but it is the rebirth to the Death card. So this feeling of liberation, this feeling of expansiveness, this feeling of, I'm actually looking at the bigger powers at play and the bigger energies at play this week, rather than getting caught up or het up about the kind of everyday, quotidian drawbacks, for want of a better word. The fact that we also have the Judgment, I mentioned this a little bit right at the beginning, is that kind of things popping out of the woodwork that we assumed had been dead and buried. Therefore, you may find, particularly as we move into this Venus in retrograde energy, you may find that people that you haven't heard from in a while get in contact, particularly of a romantic nature, but not exclusively. That could just be platonic. That could be a work relationship. Whether that is well received or not remains to be seen, but don't be surprised if things that you had assumed had reached a resolution somehow rear their head again. It's a bit of a funny one, because a lot of the time within my readings, I have people asking, particularly when it comes to love, asking, well, why is this resurfaced again? Obviously, there must be some significance around that. And yes and no is my answer to that. Sometimes we have cords, energetic cords, that are tying us to a situation or a person that need to be kind of cut and severed. But it's also a planetary force. It's a collective force that's coming through. People suddenly needing a sense of security, or feeling as though they need the familiar. So looking retrospectively and nostalgically at things in their past that gave them a sense of happiness. Rose-tinted glasses and thinking, oh, I should get in contact with that person. And it's not always a useful thing. So it tends to be rather fleeting. So I would advise that you perhaps don't invest too much emotional time and energy into those things that may resurface. Unless, of course, that feels great. It's nice to reconnect with that long-lost friend. Then maybe it is a time to put a little bit more time and energy into that. But otherwise, take it with a slight pinch of salt. We've got the Page of Cups here. Again, really lovely to see. We're still in Pisces season, so that... are we? Oh, we're probably moving just out of Pisces season. But more around this feeling of spontaneity, of play, of imagination, of fun, not taking life too seriously, being able to poke fun at yourself and also the situation. Laugh in the face of adversity is probably the best result here. We've finished with the Eight of Swords, the Lord of Shortened Force. Bit of an interesting one. It's a bit of a kind of dud note within another otherwise quite harmonious week. To be honest, I don't quite know what it's trying to indicate, but that will be for a reason. That's almost the message So you may just find that there are slight flies in the ointment this week. There are those things that maybe are trying to dampen your spirits a little bit, or just feel a little bit, oh, I'm not sure how to kind of best deal with that. It's slightly spoiling my vibe, so to speak. It's almost like we're skipping along and whistling and having a lovely time, and then we reach the end of the path and we think, oh, that's annoying. I wanted to go over there, but I suppose I'm going to have to take the long route round. So although on the whole, it looks very joyous, very expansive, lots of great opportunities here for you. Don't be surprised if not everything goes to plan. And they're just advising, well, if you reach a dead end, if you reach a so-called barrier, you just go, oh, well, and then just circumnavigate it. So it's more of a message of don't take those things that are trying to dampen our fun too seriously. Hope that helps. What resonates, let me know in the comments below, as ever. But until next time, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you then. Bye for now.